51. Please remember to download both the Barn Burner and ZingoTV apps in their respective app store on iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. Both apps are free. ZingoTV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV Sticks, Roku, and Roku 6, also on all smart TVs 2016 forward. I have a special guest in the building tonight via virtual. She is a Toronto-based singer and songwriter, Amy Gaba. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jess.
Yes, I'm very excited. Okay, for those who are not familiar with you, Amy, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Calgary.
Okay.
But I've been here about 13 years now. So I moved here when I was younger. I'm not going to say the exact year. I'm 34, so I've been here almost 13 years. I know I gave up quick, but
you don't look like you're 44, girl. Okay, we're good. Don't even.
And then I just started playing in bands in Toronto. I used to do a lot of music stuff back in Calgary, but it took a little while to get going here. So I think for like the last 7 years or so, I've played in various bands around the city. And then last summer, I finally put out my own record, my own original music, which was like a ska reggae kind of pop punk type. So that's basically me in a nutshell. Just someone who's been playing music her whole life and, moved around Canada.
That's amazing. So I heard you started when you were 10 years old in bars. Is that correct?
I was singing before that because I have memories of being like trying out for school talent shows when I was really young and wanting to sing like an inappropriate Shania Twain song and them telling me I could. So, but I think when I was about 11, I ended up getting a job as like having a residency. I've been 10 or 11 singing on Tuesday nights in a bar called Bronco Billy's in Calgary. And I used to do that on Tuesday nights till like, I don't know, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then, go to school the next day. But I loved it.
Amazing. At such a young age. That's crazy, Like, who inspired you? Is it like in the family, the music, or?
Oh, I think like my parents got divorced when I was really young. And my dad started listening to a lot of country music then. And I don't know if anyone here listens to country, but there was a girl around my age named Leanne Rimes who was 14. And she was like the youngest person to ever win a Grammy. And I was like 10 maybe at the time. So I was like, okay, like that's my goal. I got to do that. Like I just had this dream where I just like, if she can be young, if she's young and she can do this, then I can do it too. And obviously it never took off like that, but it was just, that was all I wanted to do. And, my parents couldn't stop me from doing it either. So
of course. I think when the passion gets involved, you're just like, let me do it. Let's go for it. And I like commend you for that. That's crazy. 10 years ago, you went for it. I mean, look at where you are now, girl. Like, good for you. So when did you start writing, producing? Like, who or what were your early passions and influences?
I never really wrote a lot of music, to be honest. When I was like, okay, that's a lie. I did write music for a long time, but it was never. I was never good. But I think that's what makes you good is you need to go through those years where you're really bad at it. Because it was funny. I just remember hating everything I wrote. And then at some point I started to discover that when something really bad happened or when it was really coming from the heart, I would really like that and I would be proud of it. So I kind of figured out a formula for writing and I failed at it a lot before I got strong at it. But I really didn't start writing songs that I would let other people hear until maybe like 4 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years.
4 years ago. Okay. Well, I think like recently you dropped a new music. I can't say the first 2 words, okay, but something COVID. You guys can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. So who inspired? Like, what was the inspiration behind the song?
Oh, this is a fun story. So. My EP that came out last summer is a 5-song record and there is a song. And again, it's, instead of COVID, it's Cupid. So it's essentially an anti-love song, like I'm going to say, like, to heck with you, Cupid was the polite way of saying it because we can't say it here. But so it was quite funny that, when COVID started happening, as like a joke, I would sometimes just change the words for fun and be like, damn you, Cupid, or COVID, sorry, and just changing the lyrics for fun. And then someone started a Reddit thread about it being like, she really should rewrite that song to be, F you COVID and make $1 million. And other people were like, yeah, you should. And so it kind of started as a joke. And I was like, should I Weird Al myself? Like, is that weird? But we just, you know, like half my band is in California. We couldn't all be together. We're supposed to be doing the second record. And this was the best way that we knew how to still put something new out when we can't actually be in the same country together. So it's a rewrite of a song of mine that I had written, you know, a year and a half ago, essentially just being re-released with new lyrics.
Re-released now? Well, no, it was amazing. I listened to it and I was laughing so hard. I wish we could play it on here, but you guys need to go listen to it. It's on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. It's so funny. I love it. The
music video, you need to like log in to prove you're 18 years of age.
Yeah, it did say that. And I was like, oh, okay, like what's in the video? Like, I was wondering. I'm like, no. Like,
nothing. The video was very wholesome. I mean, other than some maybe, but it's just use of an inappropriate word that we're not supposed to use.
But that's okay. Well, for most artists, originality is first preceded by a phase of learning, right? So, and often like emulating others. So, what was this like for you? How would you describe your own development as an artist, like transition towards your own voice?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing for me is I think I've always dabbled in so many different genres. Like, you know, this record's very much ska and punk. And before that, like I played in Ramones and Joan Jett band. I also played in an AC/DC band, but I also love country. And I think the most important things that I learned were like, first of all, to go outside my comfort zone and like stop thinking that it's going to look the way that you thought that you think it's supposed to. Make your own rules. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do as far as genre. I'm trying to just, I just write songs what I want. If it comes out sounding country, then it sounds that way. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, that's not the kind of sound I'm looking for. It's just being honest about that. But I just like try to not please anybody else but myself. I just kind of roll with it.
Of course.
And I, you know, I pushed the envelope a little bit. Like I remember when we were writing the song we were just talking about, being like, I don't know if I can be a person that swears in songs, or then there's merch that has that word on it. I'm like, do I want to be that person? Right? But I think the most important things that we do are the ones that we're maybe like a little bit afraid to take that leap on, and things that feel a little bit dangerous. And so that ended up being great because it really helped me come into my own to be like, you know what? No, like I'm going to be unapologetic about that. And now I speak up on a lot of things that maybe I might've wanted to stay quiet about before because I was too scared of a fight, or, you know, when it comes to talking about political issues or whatever. So I think just basically not caring what anybody else thinks, because you're going to, you're going to make people like, people aren't going to like you, or they're going to like you regardless of what you do. So you can't put it all the time anyway. You just have to be true to who you are.
I think like for yourself, like you have this platform where, you know, you should be able to share your own political views and opinions, right? Like doesn't matter what people say. Like at the end of the day, it's what matters to you. If they like it, cool. If they don't, they can unfollow whatever it is. With myself, I'm like, okay, if you don't like what I'm saying, so go ahead and unfollow me. But you know, it's a free world, right? So
well, being a people pleaser's never worked out for me. You know what I mean? Because then you beat yourself up being like, oh, I was so perfect and I did everything they wanted me to do, and that still wasn't enough for them. And then you just realize, well, then I'm going to do what I want to do anyway, because there's still going to be haters out there no matter what. So I think that was really what set me free as coming into my own as an artist, just being like, you know what, screw you, I don't care.
I mean, go for it. That's awesome. So your band, so on your Instagram, it says Amy and the Famous, the Almost Famous. What's the meaning behind that?
Well, it is my favorite movie of all time, obviously.
Okay.
But it's kind of a weird thing, because the guys that I wrote the songs with and the guys that I kind of put the album together with and the ones that I play shows with are all different people. And because of that, it's like some live in Toronto, some live in Los Angeles, and some live all over the place. So it really is like the band, there's so many people that are a part of it, and the Almost Famous was kind of a way to make sure that everybody kind of felt included without it being like the bass player is this person and the drum. Like the Almost Famous is actually a group of like 15 people, right? So and we've all collaborated it in different ways. So it was kind of a way to just encompass it all, but without actually, you know, making it just like one typical kind of band name. It was, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but there's a lot of really great people involved, but also coming up with a fun band name. It's literally my favorite movie in the world. So
so like how many people are in your band then? So the 15 you said, sorry?
No, that's the thing. There's not really 15 different people in the band all at once. Like I've got maybe three different people that play drums, depending on where the show is. And then the drummer, you know, Ryland, who played on the record, isn't who I usually play live shows with. That's usually Darren or Dean, because of where it's what happens when you're kind of in a band with people that live in the States and you live in Canada. You've got to get creative. Yeah. And
Makes
I don't
sense.
like the idea of being like sub drummer and sub bassist, whatever. It's like, no, we're all in this together. And when we have the opportunity to play together, we do. And then when we can do this together, we do. So it's more of a just kind of play by our own rules thing, just like I was talking about before.
So cool. So are you like, I mean, are you making music through Zoom or something right now? Like how does it work?
Well, it depends on which project you're talking about. So with that band, I mean, I write most of the songs, like obviously with some people that are in the project, but I usually start them. I come with an idea, maybe okay, song, let's build it. So I have written the whole second record. It's ready. We just, we don't want to do it across, you know, or no, we want to be able to be in the same room together doing it the way we do it. So I'm just waiting for that border to allow me to go back to California. But as far as that, there's another band that I'm working on music with that's not as ska reggae like this. It's a little bit more alternative. And we've been in the studio and we've got 2 songs pretty much done right now. So we've got a new project coming out there. So I'm still scratching that itch by writing and doing stuff here, but then still obviously holding on to things that I have. So are you dropping that next year, reggae, like some singles, EP, or is it like a full album? I can't give you a date because I have no idea. Okay. I'm excited. Cautiously optimistic, right? Like obviously I'm going to get down there and do it as soon as I can, but of course, is that going to be next summer? Is that going to be next December? Is that who's like, right? So for everybody, you know, I get it. We're all together, you know, it's hard, but good for you. You know, you're still trying, but like, there's so little to look forward to that you almost like don't want to, you know, here I am preaching about being fearless and then like saying I'm afed, but it's like you don't want to get all excited, like it's definitely happening. And then it doesn't, and you're like, oh, you know, so just be careful what you promise, but just knowing that you'll be there as soon as you can. Exactly. At the end of the day, just, you know, be positive, and then whatever happens, you know, so keep moving. But so exactly. Well, like, tell us about your studio. What was like the criteria when you were setting it up? How does the environment influence the whole creative process? Well, again, it depends which studio we're talking about too. Like the one so your home studio, I guess. Okay. We're mainly like we're recording up at Acrylic Recording right now up in like North Toronto, and like this is for a different band, obviously, because the home studio is the other one for the other records. So, but it's all set up like. You do a day of pre-production, you get in there and you get to try out all these different mics, and the guitar players have to try out different amps, and you're looking for different tones and pedals. And then you usually go back another day, and then then you just do drums, and it's just like a solid 10 or 11 hour day of drums. Cool. Okay. I see that works. Okay. And then you layer the other instruments on top. Vocals usually happen last. The studio's already like set up and good to go, but you have to pick kind of what your paintbrushes are essentially that you want to use in this project. So it's really neat if you've never seen it done, like how it's just completely picked into pieces and then put together like a little puzzle. So like it does like, I mean, I know you're like your genre is like punk, you said, but you're still open to like reggae and whatnot. So like was it different, like making reggae compared to punk, like the music, like the same creative process? Well, I mean, I kind of like ska, punk, reggae, like all that stuff's kind of together, I guess. They're all like they're neighbors. Really kind of like country and blues kind of go together, right? So that's not strange at all. Just because some of these songs are a little more punk and some are a little bit more reggae. But doing what we're doing now, because like what the other players, especially what the producer will be listening for, is like darker tones and like ominous, more like feelings and vibes and that as a singer I usually don't really pay attention to. And then you know, compared to a ska record where it's all upstrokes and everything's bright and happy and shiny and there's horns, you really notice like a difference in the feeling that the music gives you for sure when you change genres, and I like that. Because you don't want to be, you don't want it to be the same all the time, right? Same thing all the time. You have to, you know, let people taste through a little bit of your music of, I guess, every genre, right? So that's pretty cool. So how do you think, like, what the Toronto like music industry, like, do you think it's changed from like when you first started to like now? Oh yeah. I mean, I remember when I was young, well, then again, I've been doing this a long time, but when I was young, unless you had a record deal, no one was really going to hear of you, like in another country, especially that. And like now you look on Spotify and I'm like, oh my goodness, like 54 different countries around the world have downloaded the record. And that's something that would have never, ever happened before. But also the pool is a lot larger as well. And like anyone can pretty much get their stuff up on, you know, so it's not as much of a, you know, that's something that you would celebrate, I guess, as much. Like, I mean, you should celebrate it, but I just mean it's not as rare as maybe something like a record deal would be. Like the industry's just changed. It's more accessible to you, but it's also just so saturated now. And
it's like competitive, right? Especially in Toronto. Like a lot of artists I know myself too, and they're like, it's
hard to make money, like to get a paid gig is rare.
Yeah.
And after COVID, that's going to be rare. But then Spotify pays you, like fractions of a penny for every one song streamed. And I think someone is saying, I forget what the numbers were, but it was like you had to like get 30,000 streams to buy a cup of coffee. That was the equivalent. And
really?
Oh yeah. If you ever want to look it up, like it is. Musicians don't make money, and this is the biggest thing people have to kind of understand is that when you buy merch or something, we're still paying back all this other stuff that we've had to buy, and it's really, really hard to kind of make a living as a musician because there's so many people out there. It's so competitive, but it's really, really hard. And so I think a lot of people have misconceptions about music, that someone's making $1 million and they're super successful, and it's like, but those Spotify streams don't pay anything. So
don't pay anything. Even like on the radio, it's like I think it's like 25 cents or something. Like when I used to work for radio too, so I'm like, like we used to I think it's 15 cents to 25 they'd get paid. And it's like, oh my god, that's like not that much, but
and I think that's the biggest difference too. But it's good. It's like it's like that. I don't get as upset about it because these people would never have heard my
music. So exactly. You have to be optimistic, right? So
it's free, like it's marketing essentially, that you're getting your stuff out there and you build families and relationships. So I'm really grateful for that. It's not all about money, but when it comes to like your question, comparing how it was then and how it is now, I think that's it's just a bigger world of music out there, which is great, but it also makes it really difficult, I think, as well.
Yeah. I think we're just talking about, we were just talking about merch. So I know you recently dropped the merch, so you want to speak about that as well. Like, how did you come up with the design?
Oh, I have this little.
And that's a skeleton. It's like a skeleton, right? Do you have it?
You know what?
Oh, amazing! You have it.
One that I haven't packed up yet, so just give me 1 second. That's hilarious because I have all this merch right here. I just spent the day getting all these pre-orders ready, so that's hilarious. So my friend Ron actually drew this for me.
Okay.
See, it's
amazing.
Like I love
it. I love it. I can see it.
I'm super happy with these. So I have a little obsession with heart-shaped sunglasses. I don't know why. And they really made a comeback in these last few weeks too.
They did. Yeah.
And I probably have like 20 pairs and they're all different. So he just, and I was like, I kind of want like a skull, but I want it to be like maybe a little bit more feminine than like your classic thing for skulls. Like I'm pretty, but like you can see it.
I got you too, girl. It's okay. We have on the side here. I get it. I get your obsession.
I don't know what my fascination is with it. Like there's something about it where it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like it can be feminine. It can be masculine. It can be either. It can be for everybody. You know what I mean? But it also has this like just thing. I'm just drawn to them. So anyway, skull, heart-shaped sunglasses. He just kind of threw that together, and I was like, that pretty sums me up. So it was
that's cool.
Yeah, this is the first pressing we've had of these. Actually, it's the first run. Brand new.
Okay. So where can people like purchase your merch?
AmyGabba.com.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I can.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was listening.
AmyGabba.com. You can order through there, or like if you can message through Instagram or Facebook. We've had some friends do it that way too. I've been doing some deliveries in Toronto just because why not?
So cool.
So an excuse to go to the house and drive a little bit and save people money. But and then Bandcamp as well. I think they're putting the merch store up there because I guess Bandcamp is now allowing you to sell merch, which is fantastic.
Oh. So cool. Well, I mean, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate the quick chat. Where can the audience find you? Like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube?
You know what? I apparently have to get on Twitter because I've never used it, and everyone is telling me that I need to be on Twitter. So I will get on that. But Instagram, Facebook, we have a website, amygabba.com. And I think that's pretty much it until I figure out Twitter. So.
Twitter. Are you on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok. See,
to be on TikTok, girl, I'm telling you, okay, with your music, once your music out, a lot of these like kids start like playing the music and start creating a dance, So
okay,
the viral song on TikTok. Look at it.
Okay, I will. And if not, I'm gonna reach out to you and be like, Jess, I need a TikTok.
Please do. I will help you. Okay. I got you.
Awesome.
Well, this show can be also heard on the Barn Burner radio network on 122 platforms and networks. It's a part of Barn Burner Media Network, which can be checked out on barnburner.ca for all the news and programming. Barn Burner, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter as well at Jess Says, so JE3SSAYS, Jess Says. Thanks again. Happy Wednesday. Thanks again, Amy, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Bye.